One of the dreams we all have is to be living in a beautiful and peaceful place, where good weather abounds and we don't have to worry about anything but enjoying ourselves. I'm sure you're wondering, how can we make it happen? Can we really do it? Here at EcoNews, we'll tell you how you can achieve that dream by working for 7 companies that pay dividends. If you like this type of content, give us a like and subscribe to the channel, activating the notification bell so that YouTube notifies you when we upload new content. Now, let's start the video. What does it mean that you get paid in dividends? It means that you will not have to make much effort for them, since these shares will be deposited directly to your bank account. In conclusion, you will get thousands of dollars just for owning them. If you are subscribed to the channel and follow the financial markets, you will know that lately the market has been moving away from technology companies to safer companies, like the ones I will mention in this video. This is largely thanks to the crisis in Ukraine, inflation, the Federal Reserve, and many other problems in the world. But before we start with today's topic, it is important for you to know the following. First of all, before buying or investing in any company, please do your research, as the decision is entirely yours. This video should not be construed as a purchase recommendation or personal financial advice. Number 2, before I mention companies to you, it is important that you understand exactly what dividends are. Dividends are not completely free money that you can enjoy from these companies. Companies that pay dividends have their pros and cons, so I highly recommend that you take a close look at this explanation. What is a dividend? Any company that has generated profits or has excess money in its bank accounts has to do something productive with that money. One of the things that the company can do is to reinvest that money in the business. For example, if a company produces beer, they can reinvest those profits in expanding their factory to be able to produce and sell more beer, or they can also invest that money in buying another beer company in some other city or some other country. In addition, they can invest that money in research to produce beers of other flavors and attract customers from other niches. If the company decides to do any of these things, they are obviously not going to pay any dividends to shareholders. Now, another thing the company can do with its profits is to use it to buy more shares of the same company. That is, they buy shares of their own company from the stock exchange because they see that the company has good profitability. It is a good investment, and because this makes the shares worth more, since there are fewer shares on the market for sale. But the last thing a company can do is pay dividends. Now, companies that choose to pay dividends are usually companies that have no expansion plans, companies that are in mature industries, and companies that have high profitability. In simple words, they are companies that do not see the benefit of expanding their business and, therefore, prefer to pay their shareholders dividends so that they can do what they want with these profits. Tell us in the comments if you would dare to take this step and start collecting dividends. By the way, give us a like and remember that we will be happy to read you. The reality of cashing in dividends. The reality of dividends is that there are 2 sides to the coin. The big benefit of dividend-paying companies is that they are relatively low-risk companies in mature industries, which many would see as boring and stable companies. Then, obviously, another great benefit is that these companies pay you cash dividends. That is, they give you a little bit of liquidity, and you can receive the money in cash. That is, every month, every quarter, or every year. This can be very useful if you are a person who does not work or is retired, for example. But on the other side of the coin are the risks of dividends. An obvious risk is that these companies, since they do not know what to do with their profits, may eventually go down in value due to their lack of innovation. Similarly, a big risk that you should avoid is investing in companies that pay high dividends only to pay you no dividends at all in the next year. This is the so-called dividend trap. That is, a company decides to pay high dividends one year, but because of financial problems stops paying dividends. As a recommendation, make sure you invest in companies that pay more or less the same dividends every year. Do I have to pay taxes on dividends? With dividends, you normally have to pay taxes when you receive them. If you are a European resident, you will have to pay 30% tax on all dividends. It is advisable to find out every detail of this, because taxes will depend on your area. Now that you know what dividends are and what are the risks and benefits, let's start with the first company. Bridge. It is a company that was established in Canada in the year 1949 for the simple purpose of transporting, distributing, and generating energy. They own the largest oil and gas pipelines in Canada, but also in the United States and the world. What they do in simple words is to transport gas and oil through large pipes called oil or gas pipelines. This is a very safe company that has no growth ambitions compared to Tesla or Amazon. Therefore, they pay high dividends of around 6% per year. Before we continue, if you are finding this interesting, give us a like and don't forget to subscribe to the channel by activating the notification bell so you don't miss more content like this. Now we continue with the second company, Guyana State Finance Trust. This is an American company, a bit complicated for people who don't know about real estate, but in simple words, what they do is to give credits to companies using buildings as collateral. For example, let's say there is a company that owns an office building in New York and needs a loan to refurbish the building. In this case, Guyana State Finance Trust would lend the money to the company using the building as collateral in case they are unable to pay their interest or debt. This company currently pays a dividend of 8.5% per year. This is a really high dividend, and most important of all, this is a dividend that they have paid consistently over the past few years. Company number 3 is next, ExxonMobil. It is one of the largest oil companies in the world, with more than 60,000 employees and present in many countries. It is an old company and was founded by the richest man in the world at the time, John Rockefeller. At that time, this company was called Standard Oil. Although after the US government took away the asteroid monopoly, it was separated into several companies. ExxonMobil today has the purpose of exploring fields to find oil, produce and distribute it, but also sell gas and gasoline. They pay high dividends at a figure of 4.2% per year. And since the price of oil is so high, it is very likely that these dividends will continue to grow in the coming years. Another company that pays high dividends, McDonald's. It is probably one of the most well-known companies in the world when it comes to fast food. This company pays a dividend of 2.2% per year. Surely you will say that this is nothing and that it is a bad investment in terms of dividends. Well, look how much McDonald's share price has risen in the last decades. That is, not only are there going to be a return in the form of dividends, but this is a company that also expands and its share is worth more and more. Now we continue with another company, Électricité de France. This is the largest company in France that generates and distributes electricity. This company has power plants all over France and is the second largest company in the world in terms of electricity production. Much of its electricity is produced in nuclear plants, but also gas plants and other renewable sources. This company is extremely stable, as France is a huge and developed country. The dividend this company pays is 6.6% per year, a fairly high dividend. Another company that pays high dividends to me is Fisher. This company has a host of other pharmaceuticals and medicine products that they sell. They became known for the famous magic pill Viagra and to this day continue to make a lot of money. This company pays a dividend of almost 3% a year, but like McDonald's, this is a company that grows tremendously and its stock also goes up in value. The most interesting thing about this stock is that the baby boomers, that is, the greatest generation the world has ever seen, are getting older, and that means they are going to need medical help. The last stock that pays me high dividends, Coca-Cola. The stock pays a dividend of almost 3% a year, and it's a very slow-growing stock. It is one of those stocks that is crisis-proof because people are going to keep drinking Coca-Cola. Remember, the more money you save and invest, the more you will be able to have in the future thanks to compound interest. That brings us to the next question for you. Exactly how much money would you need per month to be able to stop working before you leave? Leave your answer in the comments. So much for today's video. Don't forget to subscribe and turn on the notification bell so you don't miss more content like this. See you in the next video.